Hey everybody, this is Tom, and what I'm going to do in this video is show you the power of presets. Okay, so I've got a photograph in Lightroom here that I'm going to work on. I'm going to go to the Develop module. My history will show you haven't done anything to it, so I'm going to go over here to Presets, and these are some already established presets that are in here. If I were to look in color, if I just kind of like mouse over these, you sort of see how it does some stuff to each of the images. Uh, there's also some black and white ones if I wanted to make this black and white. There are some defaults, right? So this has got Adobe Color plus Lens. Um, you see how that it applies the lens correction. Then there's also in these defaults, there are let's see, so there's like some grain if I wanted to. I could add, you know, a lot of different ways that'll get me started uh, down the road. So if I say I just went with high contrast here. Now you can still see that this image is like a little bright, and what did it do? It boosted the contrast 70. Now I can kind of come down here a little bit, right? I could bring my highlights down some, bring my whites down. I could boost the clarity. I had to bring the highlights and shadow down just because it was a little overexposed there. Now this isn't too bad, right? I might go maybe a little lighter there. So that's something that you can kind of do. Now, uh, what if you wanted to have your own preset? Okay, so um, let me work with this image and let's make sure. Okay, nothing's been done to this. All right, so if I come over here, I could apply lens, I could enable lens correction. You see how that flattened it out. I could come over here to presets. I could click plus. I could go create preset. And I could call this lens correction. And then I want to actually, treatment and profile I want to leave, but I'm just going to uncheck everything but lens correction. Don't want, because that's the only thing I want to happen on this. Right? I'll just leave that like that. Process version calibration. Right, that looks good. Okay, so I'm just going to save that. And that's now in my user presets for lens correction. I could then use that. I could then apply that when I import photos, and then I'd have lens correction on all of them. Okay, now here's another thing I could do, right? I could just do this sort of, I don't know, maybe I could just, what could I do here? I could, let me just kind of desaturate this a little bit. Just kind of bring this down. I'm going to desaturate it a little bit, and I'm going to boost the contrast. I'm going to bring the blacks down. I'm going to bring my highlights down some. Okay. And then I'm just going to go a little bluer. Okay, so now I could come over here. I could click Create Preset. I'll call this desaturate bluish color. Because what did I do? Now, I don't want lens correction. So I would want white balance. I want basic tone. I want uh, clarity. I want dehaze. I want color. That's everything I've done. So I'm going to click Create. Okay, now I can Let me go over here to this image, right? Develop it. I'm just going to reset it to where we are. History, reset. Okay. Now, if I go here to my presets, I can go user presets. I can add the lens correction, and I can add that. Now, I may need to tweak this a little further. I can say, let me just bring this down a little bit more, right? If this is a look I like, if this sort of like bluish look is something I like, I could kind of consistently do this, right? Let's see what this would look like if I did that. Let me just reset it. Okay, so I can come over here, desaturate. You sort of see how that, like now, even in pulling down all these highlights, right, I might need to darken things down a little bit. Again, it's sort of like, don't necessarily think about this as like, oh, I made a preset and I clicked on it, so I'm done. Think of the preset as just moving your starting point to somewhere a little closer to what you want. Because this, I still feel like needs, I don't know, this guy, I don't think this guy's going to come back. 97, so that's not too bad, right? But it feels like maybe, I don't know, something's up with this guy. I could just, so there's nothing. I feel like I just need to maybe take a little magenta out. Okay, so maybe that's too much. Okay, but you sort of see the thing there. So hopefully that'll help give you a little greater understanding of presets. The other thing you want to make sure is that in the preferences, under presets, you have store presets with this catalog checked, and then that way, since we're all on external hard drives, they'll stay with you. Hope that helps, gives you a little bit more of an understanding about presets. Presets are something that you can uh, apply to the images as they are being imported. So maybe that's going to save you another step. All right. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Always happy to help. Thanks.